But with no end in sight to the conflict in their homeland, nothing suggests that the refugee problem will improve anytime soon. In fact, the UN says between 5,000 and 6,000 Syrians flee the country every day, and 1,200 families have crossed into Lebanon in the last few days. Our international editor Lindsay Hilsum is there. So we've been doing this series on Destination Europe, but in fact most of these refugees aren't going to Europe, are they?
Absolutely not. 2 million Syrians have fled their homeland during this war in the past couple of years, and the vast majority are in countries like this, Lebanon, and in Jordan and Egypt and so on. Those 6,000 who you mentioned, they've just come into Lebanon in the past few days, fleeing, fighting, 1,200 families. And it's really very difficult to know where they're going to stay. They're putting up some tents and so on, but they've fled into a very mountainous area. There's going to be 3 foot of snow there very soon. So some of them are being accommodated in public buildings and so on. But think about these numbers. I got a tweet the other day from someone in response to this series saying, Europe is full up. We don't want these people. Europe is full up. This is a country, Lebanon, of 4.5 million people. Another 1.3 million people, Syrians, have come in the last year or so. That's a quarter of the population more added on. Think of the strain that's putting on services, health services. I'm told that in many places 40% of people at clinics are Syrian refugees. What about the children going to school? This is a huge strain on Lebanon, and similarly in Jordan, and they really don't have the resources to cope.
Well, and when you look at those figures, 1,200 crossing over into Lebanon in just the last few days, why this upsurge now?
Well, this is because there's fighting in a place called the Kalamoon Mountains. Now, this is between Damascus and the border with Lebanon. It's an area which the rebels use for smuggling weapons in. And what the government is doing is it's trying to take control of that area to stop those weapons coming in. But I want you to think about one more thing about displaced people in Syria. 4.2 million Syrians displaced within their own country. It's almost impossible to get aid to them. They're the ones who are really, really going to be suffering in this winter to come.
Lindsay, thank you very much for joining us.